David Rosenthal, Bernice Simon.
Every day for the past year, the names of the 11 Jewish people shot to death in their Pittsburgh synagogue have been recited before the mourner's Kaddish, the Jewish prayer for the dead.
Amen.
Joe Charney has been attending services 5 days a week, often leading the prayer.
Amen.
Charney is only a visitor at this Beth Shalom congregation. His home synagogue, Tree of Life, remains closed. The 91-year-old was inside when a gunman slaughtered 11 people, including 7 of his friends.
So we heard a noise, and I didn't pay much attention initially. He didn't shoot me. He started with the people who were seated.
The deadliest anti-Semitic attack on American soil.
As the suspect keeps telling about killing Jews, he doesn't want any of them to live.
The suspect recently offered to plead guilty in exchange for spending life in prison, but federal prosecutors rejected the offer and are seeking the death penalty. 365 days later, the building hasn't reopened yet. In some ways, it's become a memorial, a way to remember the victims, much like the reciting of their names.
And we also remember Joyce Feinberg.
It feels good to recite those names because I know I'm doing the right thing, and I know that I'm doing something for me and for them at the same time.
Charney's friend of 50 years, Judah Samet, also recites the names. He narrowly escaped the massacre, stopped from walking inside by a man.
I would be right in the middle of the shooting. So he's the one who really saved my life.
It isn't the first time he escaped death. As a child, Samet was at a Nazi death camp in Germany.
We see somebody dead, we walked around him out of respect. But eventually, we were awakening. We stepped on them, we could hear their bones cracking. Didn't mean anything. By the age 7, I have seen more death than life. You see Irving Younger, he was the first one to get killed.
The targeting of Jews yet again changed the way he looked at his synagogue for a while.
And I looked at that and I said, this looks like a tombstone. There is no holiness emanating from this building. It had 11 bodies in it. It's a cemetery.
But a year later, all he and survivor Joe Charney want is to go back to their sanctuary.
Because it's the right thing to do. Because if you don't, the other side wins.
But until that day, they will be here, honoring the friends they lost.
Still is great. I'm glad we do it. I like to hear the names. I think they make a difference, and I don't want them forgotten.
Amen.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.